And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Luke, we have Matt, and we have Scott. And before we get started today, I do have an announcement. Matt Riley shares a bank account with his mom.
Listen, we talked about this before the show. I'm tired of the a-holes like Luke. It's 10 years ago, he stole my Pogs.
Was it a slammer?
And I had the fantastic Pog collection. Luke stole it. And, really bitter. I was going to ask everyone on the IWAR page to make up a imaginary grievance. And then I was like, I actually have something like that with somebody in the game anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It is no longer imaginary.
Yeah. So, Dog Day Cycle. This will be an interesting show because Luke's here for IWL. Scott and I are here for BRL. And NWL, Aaron and Jeff. Aaron couldn't make it. I believe Aaron is actually opening a bank account with his mother as well. So.
Well, I heard he didn't want to take any advice from the veterans.
I heard Jeff was gonna have a friend of his bite somebody for him. So
would you bite someone for your friend? Like I'm sure. Scott, you ever bit someone for Matt?
What?
Have you ever bitten someone for Matt?
Yes, twice.
Oh, that makes sense.
2 times, yeah.
I don't think the second one was for Matt. I think he just did it, and Matt was there.
Luke, you are nothing but a troublemaker. You know what?
See? I told you.
Fall backwards. My friends catch me, okay? And you don't, Scott. That vague thing.
I don't know what you expect when I'm sitting in this frickin' wheelchair and you want me to catch you.
Let me tell you something. Darren Soanes is 3 stars and has a bank account of wrestlers with his mom. Oh.
Yeah, I paid you guys bills, so don't worry about that.
That's right. So, as you all can probably guess, we were making fun of or ridiculing the current top story in wrestling, which is really too bad because this weekend was actually pretty damn good. The Clash of the Castle was very good. The AEW review, from what I saw, was good. And then it went off rails. But we're here to talk about IWA action, which is always screwed up. So I do want to take a minute and of course, talk about one Johnny B. Jr. and what he did to the IWAR 10 years ago. When we were trying to make.
Why are we talking? What has Johnny B done?
I know, right? What has he done in this business? He couldn't run a Target. Which, by the way, why did no one in the press ask why he attacked Shane Douglas? That's what I wanted to know.
First of all,
that was the one I was going for. Like, what does Shane Douglas do to you?
Running a Target is extremely difficult. It's probably one of the top 5 hardest jobs in retail. Period. Yeah, that's a rough gig. That's not an easy gig.
I just love the fact that someone who's sitting at a table for a multi-million-dollar company that became it what it is because of the guys that drove the the driving force, so to speak. And he's like, these guys haven't done anything.
Cody wasn't there. Cody wasn't there.
That's true. Cody's also hurt, so it's like.
Is he?
Someone made a good point, though, that he was wearing Danhouse's boots, so he was cursed.
Okay. Well, the bottom line is that this is what happens when you remove steroids from professional wrestling. Everyone gets hurt.
Brian Cage never hurt.
Nope.
All right, so
allegedly. Jesus Christ.
Allegedly, yeah.
Just steroids. Okay, like sure. You don't knock it till you try.
It's good for you. I tried it back in 1999.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you get jacked and huge?
They were legal back then?
didn't go to the gym. You just took steroids.
That's exactly what happened.
You were at Denny's, just put it on top of your moves over my hammy. You're like, steroids.
No, I had a friend of mine who was experimenting at the time with them. And I'm like, fuck it.
Hey, we've all had friends who do that.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck it. Let me see if this actually does anything. And I took a cycle, and that was that. And it didn't do a whole lot for me, but I wasn't doing a whole lot with it either. So
did you get the acne?
No, I had it at the time already.
One of the more grotesque things I ever saw at Killer Kowalski School was when guys were doing, juicing, they would get back pimples.
I thought you were talking about China's vagina.
He would do the back scratch and rip the pimples.
Oh, that's gross.
I can still no, thank you.
Gross. That's gross.
You maintain your quads, though. Jeremy Broadwater was a good point. Because didn't Vince tore his quads?
Both quads.
Both quads. But also, was it Kevin Nash?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just, all these guys, quads. Although Kevin Nash's legs, holy crap.
Well, he's like 16 knee surgeries, so.
Yeah, tip your cap to that guy. Holy crap.
He's hilarious, by the way. Like, he's a good follow on Twitter.
Yeah,
he's a new
really
podcast that just came out. Seems pretty good. Watch his news shoots. They're the best from Kayfabe Commentaries. Plug for them. They're really good. And like he's the person that gets like everything is bullshit. Like not just wrestling, just life. Everything is bullshit. And it's just chock full of shenanigans and tomfoolery.
Well, speaking of shenanigans and tomfoolery, we can ask if Johnny B has any grievances he wishes to air.
Any friends that don't catch him when he falls backwards, that's a huge...
Right. Or if there's any muffin shops he wants to promote.
Well,
that was the thing. He was just pounding cupcakes. I'm like,
yeah, that was. If Punk wasn't straight edge, I would say he was on like fucking drugs because his shit came out of fucking left field. Like if someone like an addict would just randomly say, like like what the fuck?
Maybe he's got a bipolar or something, man.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
I don't necessarily think he's wrong. In some cases,
no, I said that. I said some stuff he was fine, but like, dude, no one wants to hear about it.
It's now. Like who, but like, there's nothing to tee that up, though.
Right.
I mean, one thing if like Cabana was there and fucking mooned them. It's like something happened.
Or if Cabana had come out and said like CM Punk got me fired or something like.
Right. Yeah.
But he never. It was just something that no one even really like picked up on in
Holy
a promo.
Shit, 3 months. Have Colt Cabana be the big figure. Have him be the Eric Bischoff character.
I don't think that he has it.
Can you imagine? Oh.
I still want to know Cabana's relationship with pro wrestling tees. And does he own part of that? Does he own all of it?
Does.
I think he owns a piece.
Yeah,
he does.
So like
it's like him and
Punk hates him, but his t-shirts are on that website. That's for goddamn sure.
Right.
It's like all the shit you want, but cash the checks. So.
Oh, it is. Where Carnies are going to Carney though.
That's right.
No.
Oh.
So Matt, where are we starting? Where are we starting today?
I say IWL. Let's get Luke.
Do you want to do like 4 in a fucking row?
Oh God, you're right.
Start when I'm starting. I'm gone. It's
actually, well, I was gonna say IWL first, or wherever you go, because I'll read the NWL while you're doing that. Because I gotta
try to first, so they can get their shit together. Yeah.
You want to do BWL first? It's a little shorter.
Sure.
All right, let's bang the Black Widow League. Hey.
I think I'm gonna have a league called the BBC.
The Blackpool Combat Club?
Yeah. That's it. That's right.
I can tell you a very inappropriate story about that, but let's
about the acronym for BBC?
Yes. Well, no, that's a long story.
You have the BBC and the PAWG?
how do I put this delicately? I know someone who met their husband at one of those parties.
Oh, good for
He
them.
was the star of the show, and
Oh,
good for her. Good for her.
like OJ.
I don't know if OJ was.
You don't think OJ's packing heat?
OJ was at the game tonight.
Was he?
The Bills game with the Rams, and they had a picture of him, and he had special sneakers on with he was there, showing off his sneakers with 32s on.
Was he there with Luther?
Yeah, Luther Alexander was there too, because he's got nothing to do right now, anyways.
Luther's movie sucks.
Well,
You seen Centennial?
Yeah.
Continual.
Samaritan, I believe. It's
Samaritan.
Samaritan, was it bad?
Was it awful?
I mean, it is what it is. It is a movie you would go look at while all your kids are home and you just had dinner and you all have popcorn and you're sitting in your little movie area of your home watching. How old is he?
70 something.
Watching a 70-year-old man still try to be 30.
Speaking of steroids, what he's taking?
He's jacked. I finally watched Expendables the other day.
Like, fucking human growth hormone is amazing. They should have that for mass consumption. Put that
It'll be
in
up there.
a Red Bull fucking can or some shit.
Well,
Has anyone drank the new Coca-Cola Marshmallow limited edition? It's really good. Try it out.
Does it taste like marshmallow?
No.
Haven't seen it here.
Oh, it's
only in New York.
Is it in New York only?
We don't have it here.
Oh, it's in a white can.
They have it in Boston.
I think so. Yeah, I saw it. And I was like,
Anyone tasted the Nitro fucking Pepsi yet?
Yeah, that sucked.
That sucked. All right. Tastes flat.
Nitro Pepsi. WCW Nitro Pepsi.
Yo, they're gonna do a show for Mall of America.
Who are?
Some indie company is doing it. It's called the Saturday Night Nitro.
Good for them.
From the mall.
Atlanta, have you been to the Coca-Cola in Atlanta?
I figured you would have to, right?
Have I?
Yeah.
Buddy, there, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like paying to go to a commercial, but they have all the Coke.
They got exotic coats from far away places. Like
Yeah.
They do.
Japanese Coke with fucking ginseng in it or some shit.
They have all.
Names you can't even pronounce.
Really?
But you go into this room and there's
A penis?
a giant one right in the middle.
O.J. Simpson?
2 balls on the side. About 6 or 8 kiosks.
Oh.
And you just walk around them and they've got drinks in each one. Like you were going to, like they have in the drive-thru where they do put your drinks. You just press the button and the drink goes in. You're supposed to use the same cup each time, but
No, yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup.
I knew you were going to come up with that. I was waiting. I was waiting for that.
You teed it up. You teed it up.
But it's fine. It's cool to try different ones, and you know which ones are going to be really crappy, and then there's a few surprises, and they've got tons of just regular water, but by different names. You know,
like Aquafina?
Yeah.
They
Look-
And
have,
Josefina.
they have a Chinese pop that tastes like barbecue sauce, like sweet barbecue sauce.
Like it tastes like communism?
Yeah, that's what barbecue sauce.
That makes
tastes
sense.
like. Just
Yeah.
disgusting. But like the Central American ones, like the one from Peru, Inca Cola, that's really good.
Oh.
And there's like some from Africa that are pretty good. The ones from Europe all I have no taste though. There's like an elderberry.
Well, there's no.
Awful.
It's
And then
gross.
there's a cucumber.
Oh. It's very refreshing.
Something like that.
Do you like your cucumbers pickled?
I don't like cucumbers at all.
Straight.
Cucumbers
Really?
at all?
Not pickled, not dice sliced. A little bit of lime and salt on it. Nothing.
Nah.
Oh, that's
I'm with you.
disturbing.
Try to straighten mine out.
Well, later on the show, we'll talk about Luke's adventure at Dollywood. But we'll save that for later.
I
Nice.
never been to Dollywood.
Isn't it like next? Did you just live next door to it?
This is a whole thing. You understand that, right?
So
Like I know there's like little parts of these little islands, but we have a whole that we here. I know it's hard, but it's a whole state. It's a whole state. Like you know how you have like mainland New York, which you don't go to.
Well,
There's a
no.
whole state.
Mainland New York.
You're like you like the Hawaiian Islands out there.
I think you're being ridiculous, and I don't think you can compare the size of the state of New York to the size of Tennessee. I don't know. It's probably the third largest state in the world.
Third largest state in the
whole world.
Yes.
Tennessee's long, but
it's not thick apparently.
It's not thick.
It's not girthy.
It's a 3-hour trip from north to south, but it's like a while. So East Tennessee is where.
It takes like 12 hours to go through New York.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll go up there.
You got to book it. Spring break, Dollywood. Take the whole family out. Get an RV of some sort, perhaps a minivan with spinning rims on it, like my friend had one back in the day with a big Puerto Rican flag on it. Driving through Tennessee, going to Dollywood.
Go all the way to the edge of New York, then go into Ohio. A little town.
We don't go over there. It's scary. There's places in New York State, upstate that I'm not going past Westchester. If I have to go to Buffalo, I'm going to fly.
Isn't Westchester where the X-Mansion is?
That is where the X-Men live. Yes.
Well, I remember that.
You would probably call it Worcester, some sort of not. Try to pronounce Worcester.
Nice. It's Worcestershire.
Like the sauce? Like the sauce?
It's Worcestershire sauce.
No.
English.
Is it? From England?
Yeah.
They boil everything over there. It's gross. It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
What league were we doing? BWL?
BWL.
Are you going to have a memorial tournament for the Queen?
Well, I was thinking about this running gag in the BWL where Mark Kayfabe is always talking about having big guests on for his segments, and there's always like somebody who's either in jail or dead. So maybe he'll talk about having the Queen on. I mentioned this earlier before the show. So a customer today told us that it had happened. The Queen passed away.
She was sad,
and he was like really upset. And the best part, he's going on and on about like this is such a huge event, and he was like kind of getting watery eyed, and we were like, oh, okay. And he goes, and now King George is going to be taking over, and he like left, and we all were like, King George. And someone was like, he must listen to Hamilton because it was King Charles. And Prince Charles became king. It's like King George.
Yes.
We're going back. That
my head.
Like Revolutionary War, King George?
Right. Like I was like, he's watching Hamilton too much.
It was the thing from coming back and taking us over as a colony again. So that's it. We're done.
Right. Well, it might be better at this point.
All right. Well, in the honor of Queen, we're going to start the BWL Black Widow League. This was number.
You think she shaved her cooch?
Oh my God!
Not lately.
Like
did in the beginning.
Like I would like if they're gonna auction off some of her memorabilia, I would take that razor.
All right. So number 6 is here. Number 6. The cycle interview went to Aria Gunpowder, the highlight of which was her considering her biggest threats, Betty the New and Riley Reynolds. Of course, Riley Reynolds is the women's IWAR World Champion, and she also won the IWA Championship. And Betty the New, of course, also won the IWA Ladies Championship. So those are two big targets. She talks about Starfall Tigress, always talking smack, and how she's going to get a hold of her. And, of course, her feud with Rachel Van Dorn. Now that she's won the Triple Threat Championship, she's looking forward to people, backing up their talk if they can. Let's see here. So moving along, we had our pay-per-view write-up. I won't go into all the details we talked about it last time. Well, do you want to recap, Luke? Do you want to talk about your match?
Our B match, the co-main event, I like to call it.
Yes, the Beaver County Street Fight.
What do you want me to talk about? People know what happened.
They can't read.
It was a phenomenal battle between an up-and-coming Rain Grady and an established former IWAR Women's Champion, Tiamat. And they fought it out through blood and guts and glass. And at the end, Tiamat just barely overcame Rain Grady as she went to hit her Chaos Emerald from the top rope. Rain knocked her off balance. They both fell through panes of glass, and Tiamat ended up on top for the 1-2-3. Classic. At the end, both embraced, and they celebrated a well-fought battle. So Rain Grady has already established herself as a contender. So this just furthered that she's more, than just talk. Like, she's here to stay, and she's as tough as they come.
Now, here's a question for you. Would you consider Tiamat to be sort of a veteran presence of sorts?
Yeah, she's like she's like the Undertaker.
All right, that's perfect, because I have a bit I'm going to introduce into the BWL, a little routine. I think you'll enjoy. I won't ruin it for you, but I just wanted to get your take on Tiamat. So other stuff, just coming out of the pay-per-view, Ryder Reynolds, of course, won the championship from Group Assault. Aria Gunpowder won the Triple Threat championship. Shiloh Wallace beat Betty Red for the Women's Global Championship. And, of course, Dana DeVito distracted Beulah Booger and cost their team the win. But our next pay-per-view is No Man's Land. So
yes,
that'll be our next pay-per-view. And then we're in the talks for the next, there'll be 3 pay-per-views a year. And the third pay-per-view possibly will be some combination of either Caged Heat, Caged Fury. We're working on it. So we want to make sure, just make the pay-per-views really fun.
Pay-per-view names be my only contributions to the BWL.
We're waiting for Laverne Alexander to show up.
It might be Rambone.
Yeah, we actually had that way put this pay-per-view up on the main page.
Good for them.
Yeah, they did. It was a fun pay-per-view. Lots of fun. And as a reminder, if you were like, "Hey, I would have liked to have written my matchup," that's fine. Just contact me next time so you can do it. We had a media scrum where Suplex took questions, but unfortunately Suplex didn't snap and start talking trash about her 10-year-old beef with Kimberly. So that one didn't happen. Sorry.
It's too bad.
Promos wise, let's see. So leading off, we had Gina Colada, who talked about her victory over Penny Punk and how she wants to be respected. And Penny Punk, of course, who had not lost a pay-per-view match in 2 years, was enraged and said, she wants a title on the line because that way it'll really mean something. So it's basically she's going to throw the IWGP Championship on the line. So when we get Punk Gina 2, it'll be a title match. So that'll be good. And then Penny Punk chimes in and kind of talks about how she's frustrated because, this joke, Gina Colada, who she doesn't like, came to her league and caused a big scene, and she wants to put her in her place. So that's going to be coming a follow-up. Next, we have Addison Killswitch, who is using Mercedes Martinez as her avatar, which is good because there's lots of images of her, so thank you for that. Just talking about how she's, dealing with Meat Train and looking to move on. So she's ready for part 2. Let's raise the stakes. So she wants to have a second match. So we can see a couple of feuds, continuing on. Zuckaroo Z-Bop. She'll be your Zuckleberry, as she likes to say.
That sounds gross.
Hey, don't yuck their yum. So Zuckaroo talks about their tag match loss and how she's not happy about it. But a reminder, the winning team will go on to the Triple Threat at the next pay-per-view. So that's for that. Let's see here. More Zuckaroo and Beulah. Again, Danny DeVito was a guest referee and possibly was molested by Bueller after the show. So we're waiting for legal to get back to us on that one. Zuckaroo Zebub talks about Betty the New and how she's kind of, making fun of her. Because that's what she does. She likes to embarrass other wrestlers. So we'll see if that works out. Rain Grady talks about her big tough match against Tiamat and how she's took a loss, to deal with it, build on it, but earn some respect and walks around her Grady Farms or Grady Ranch, I should say. So while she hates losing, she she's going to be bouncing back from it. So we'll see what happens next. Next up, we have a new wrestler, Francis Baby Houseman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Well, I was just going to say, Rain Grady's promo was a good example of what you should do when you lose a match. As far as, it gets hard for a lot of people, and just in general, to come back from losing a match, even if it's close or whatever. But what she did and the way that she talked and the way that she spoke up, that's the best way. That's the best example of it that I've seen in a long time. Because it can get really annoying when you lose a match, but to come back with that type of promo just puts you right back where you were. You don't lose a lot, right? So it's important that you're not ever going to win every time. So, some people freak out and bury everybody, or they just don't know where to go. But she just basically said, I lost, talked about why she didn't like losing, and then moved on to the next thing. So that was a really, really good promo. I just wanted to point that out.
There you go. Yes, so always remember, when you have wins and losses, I know some players get really frustrated when they don't win. And it's sometimes the losses can be much better to propel your career or your character in a different direction than just, I won, I'm the best. So let's see here. Francis Baby Houseman. So if you've ever seen the movie Dirty Dancing, you'll recognize this character. She's from a rich family. She's called Baby by her family and some of her father's close friends, which we'll leave that alone. She's the younger daughter of Dr. Jake and Marjorie Houseman. And she, of course, has been seen dancing with Jonathan Castle. And somebody put out a tweet saying basically if you watch Dirty Dancing as an adult and you have kids or a daughter, and had your 16-year-old daughter dancing with a 38-year-old man, might be a little suspicious there. So I'm curious to see where we go with Baby because, will she be staying in the corner? Will she not be in the corner? Because you shouldn't put Baby in the corner. Aria Gunpowder we talked about. She talks about her championship, and that's going to be a fun one to divvy up when it comes to that. We got a nice page from Rachel Van Dorn, who's talking to Ava Von Snap about her training and how she was angry that she lost her match, but she wants to bounce back. And she has a lot of good social media images here. This is a good use of kind of taking what's out there and tweaking it to make it look like legitimate, real tweets and Instagram posts. Talks about her Perfect 10 series with Starfall Tigress, and she wants to bounce back. So Starfall Tigress might be getting a feud that she didn't expect. Shiloh Wallace talks about winning the U.S. Championship after winning the BWL TV Championship, and of course she's now the Women's Global Champion. So she talks about Gene Co. She talks about her brothers, Zydrate and Nivek Largo, who are still in the BRL, and kind of how she's establishing herself as a breakout star on her own. She talks about the specialty matches coming up and kind of using it as a way to show what she could do. Now, a few years ago, Gina Colada won the Parking Lot Brawl Championship. So these specialty championships are coming up this cycle coming up. So if you sign your matches, you want to send $5, you'll get 10 different shots of specialty titles. And this will be a way to pick up some IWA money and give your character or your wrestlers something to brag about. So keep an eye on that. Betty the New talks about being the top star in the league, regardless of her title. She's got the best record, the most wins, So she's really been going off. I think she's lost 3 matches since she's arrived. So Betty the New is really looking up to the name. Starfall Tigress, just what I love every cycle, comes up with new excuses for when she doesn't win. Really entertaining, including publishing fake, well, possibly doctored text messages from Rachel Van Dorn. And just, she's really good at like really rubbing the noses of her opponents in the dirt, so to speak. Next up, Veruca Salt. She talks about losing the championship ahead of 217 days, getting herself refocused and getting back on track and to win it. And, that she accepts the loss and she wants to build off of it. And, it's a thing I said, it's easy to say, well, I lost a match. I'm going to go out and sneak attack somebody, or I'm going to do whatever. Like building off of it like a real competitor does. And knows, you want to get that road back to the championship. So, talked about her accomplishments. Then we get Riley Reynolds, the current IWAR Women's World Champion and most recent IWA Women's Champion. Just talking about her victories and all the people she's beaten and how she's going to keep going. And she's like, she enjoys using this opportunity to call out and humiliate her opponents. She's not nice. We get a letter here to Riley Reynolds from Rod Camino, her old industry partner, talking about her success and congratulating her. And then we get Zoe Pecadora, which, just so you know, if you're listening, the player who runs Zoe is taking a break from this league, so Zoe will be going inactive, so you can just drop any feuds in that direction. Meat Train. The Meat Train does not like losing. She wants to, get another shot at her. We'll see what happens. Lots of angry energy from Meat Train. But what will she do as a follow-up? Huntress. Huntress has a lot going on. She's got a perfect 10 series against Tiamat going on. She wants to get revenge on Aria Gunpowder. So, she's looking to make a mark for herself. She's kind of been quiet so far. She's kind of quietly putting together like regional belts, but is she going to take the next step? Then we get Beulah Booger, and she's talking about how she's daydreaming about Danny Zavito. Yeah, could have a hobby. And Zakaru Zebop is kind of frustrated by it, but, knows that's how Beulah is. So that's kind of what's going on right now. We got a little quick one from Vicky Venom. Talks about Zakaru Zebop and wants to, take care of the odd couple. We'll see. Again, we have right now about 26 active players, 27 active players in the BWL. That's really good. So, we want to see some more promos. This coming cycle, we're going to reveal the Lethal Lottery Women's Tournament. I'm going to do a little bit of creative booking to get everyone that is trash-talking involved or has at least tried trash-talking. So hopefully if anyone new comes along, we'll try to get them too. But that is your BWL promo review for Dog Days.
Oh, man. I dig that. Next up, IWL, Independent Wrestling League, number 161. So, Luke, what's going down in the IWL?
Stuff's going down, man. All this stuff. Luke Alexander's gone.
He is. Yeah. You think it would create a big crater in the league, and it had zero effect.
There's LA.
I don't know who Eleazar is. He's a long time fan of Luther Alexander. I don't know what he's doing. He's a rookie.
He's the law.
He is the law.
All right. So first up, we start as we usually do with the Dream, Aliatari. So he's going after Johnny Vegas.
He highlighted the night Johnny Vegas.
Who's had tons and tons of success. So he won the King of the Ring, I guess Dream is getting back at him. Dream is kind of tired of what he has going on, and he's going after Johnny Vegas. So he's flipping the script. So,
Johnny Vegas might be pound for pound the best wrestler in the IWL.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh.
He's the highlight of the night. God damn it.
The night.
We have the IWA World Champion Barry Stevens and Misty Hyatt talking to Barry Stevens. I have a question. Does Dapper Dan D just work for Ali Atari?
He works with all the IWAR leagues.
So Dapper Dan D is not allowed within 50 feet of any elementary schools, by the way.
I get that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Barry Stevens again. He's talking. He's a little more positive. This is the first positive promo that he's had in a while, so that's good. Good for him. He seems to be doing good things. Seems to be happy. And he talks about his match, Dragon. Says that the fans listen to Chameleon, is best. Talks about Big Bad Bob Harris and
future world champion Big Bob Harris, by the way.
We'll see. But so he's got he's got a lot on his mind, but he seems to be kind of focused on his title match with Neo Dragon at King Pro Wrestling. So we'll see. Except we have the new look Von Snaps. What's up with the Canadian Von Snaps hair? Like, he needs a different haircut.
He's a hoser.
He's a hoser.
I don't know what that means. What does that translate to, by the way? Where's Darren when we need him?
I know, right?
Hoser is like somebody that sprays down the ice. I can't remember why. Like
with their penis?
I mean, they with a hose.
Exactly.
Well,
I think I don't know why they would spray the ice, but I just know that that's what they do. That's where it comes from.
Okay. Well, thank you for the histrionics on the phrase hoser.
Yeah.
I did ask.
And I am.
And I instantly regretted it.
But you get. So yeah, speaking of hosers, the Von Snaps, and they're getting ready for the Triple D 6-man tourney. They're talking about Michigan Border Patrol, and they're just so caught up on the regulators. Let it go. They beat. Let it go.
10 years ago, they decided to open a bank account with their mother. It's true. Ryan Patrick did that.
I mean, he's got to hide that money somewhere.
Right.
All right. So next up comes Chameleon. Chameleon, people don't really know how they feel about the Chameleon anymore, and he appears to pull an all Atari's, get a little frustrated. He attacked the newly arriving Dave the Decision Wazalewski. So we'll see where that goes.
You think Samantha Soley is having some sort of effect on him?
Probably. She's like kryptonite.
She is. She used to have an extra toe, but she doesn't have it anymore.
All right.
Christian Warrior are reading the Book of Numbers, which I guess, if you were worried about the ancient Israelite tribes, that would be super interesting. But I don't think anyone does. So, Amazing Graces, they're still the IWAR Tag Champions. That's right. Still.
Yes.
They're on a roll.
They had a tie and they retained the belts.
So they're mourning the loss of their mentor, Luther Alexander. They've got litigation on this. What?
They're going to beat the Demolition Crew with the pay-per-view. That's going to happen.
Yeah, so they're going after Demolition Crew as well. Next up, I don't know who this is, so we're not going to talk about them.
Who
Hunter
is it?
Callahan, the Jericho guy. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know who runs that. The list. The Jericho, who just made the list.
Yeah.
The list of Jericho.
Yeah.
Don't know who it is. He does not. He did say that the QQW and their Princess Commissioner sucks. So maybe he's doing a little CM Punk there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Hunter Callahan's talking about how he goes after, how he just basically ran McNips out of town.
He did.
So,
So you think Racer McNips was able to lactate on command or not?
On command, it's a lot to ask.
Wow.
I think we need to do a different type of entertainment then.
Well,
There's a market for that.
there's jobs for those type of people. Going OnlyFans. I've watched it. I've seen it.
I don't want to know what you watch. That's
On OnlyFans?
inappropriate.
Well,
You'll get banned from yeah. So there's that. He's gonna crank up some MCR. Maybe really get a workout. So that's good. Little Black Parade. Next we have Unique Mateo, right?
who?
Guy, mullet guy.
Oh yeah, Unique Mateo.
That's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Is he
He
still
likes
obsessed?
cinnamons.
He likes Ariana Grande, which I'm in the same mindset. I'm a fan personally and professionally.
Tina's a way of life, he says.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
That's fair.
I don't know what just happened.
Well,
Next up, we have Attic Black. Still continue in their feud after their bloody match with Ricky Spanish and Ulysses Deadeye. So, he's going after both of them. He haters.
which I think it might be a mistake because I think that might be, either one of those guys it'll be a lot for anyone. Both of those guys, that's I think it's too much for him to handle. I don't know.
The bear. So we'll see what happens.
Well, no one wants to take that kind of load. That's for sure.
I'm not gonna repeat that. Ulysses Deadeye is talking about he's Spanish as well. He thinks that they're kind of writing not taking it seriously. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Mhm. There's a happy dog.
Where? Oh yes.
It says happy dog. It says Tony Dog IWA National Championship. Is that Fred the wrestling dog?
No, it's not Fred the Wrestling Dog.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Fred the wrestling dog should be the IWA champion. So
Well, of course.
Lone Star Redneck, he's calling out Ollie Atari. We got Enric Filamonte, and what does WOH sound?
World
stand for?
Offensive History.
Offensive history.
Yeah.
So Abe is talking. What's up?
These guys may or may not be time travelers. Maybe from a alternate reality, perhaps.
I prefer to be from an alternate reality.
Okay.
Reality much Harlem, but it's not. I think that's kind of neat.
Like Quantum Leap. They're making a new Quantum Leap.
Not having Scott back, it's so weird.
Well, it's a sequel. It's not a reboot. So got that going for it.
Did he ever home? That was the whole thing.
No, you just see the final episode of Quantum Leap? So he has the ability to leap home, but he chooses not to and continues his crusade to right the wrongs of the past. That's how it ended.
Probably like when it ended.
That was a big Quantum. That was my show. That was my jam.
I love Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap was awesome. I love that show.
Fucking good show.
The finale was tough.
Well, yeah. Those can be.
Although I liked the way it ended because it had a nice it's open ended, but it also the way he did at the very end was dope. That's awesome.
What happened? Now I don't remember.
Yeah, go back. Terry Funk's on Quantum Leap.
Terry Funk's in Roadhouse.
Well, yeah.
Terry Funk.
You ever watch that movie with Scott Bakula where he plays football And Kathy Ireland is the place kicker.
Yeah,
That's a good.
Necessary Roughness.
That's a good
Very
fucking
rough.
flick. Sinbad's in it. He's not even a genie.
It's like Major League, but like
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, it's a good flick. Saw that in a movie theater.
Really, I didn't see. I remember renting it on VHS.
Okay.
Speaking of time travel, Brutally Honest Abe's calling out Omega Squadron. He's calling about the American Patriot. He does make a good point. You cannot trust people that wear masks.
Yes.
I think that's been well established.
That's a theme.
Yeah. And evidently they've dug up some trash on Christian Warrior, which I feel is unfortunate, and I don't believe it. And they're going after Chameleon. Talking about his wife.
Ooh.
Wow. They say a lot about his wife, but I think everybody already knows what Sam Silly's all about.
Well, I think he might have went a little too far, but
Yeah.
not inaccurate, just too far.
I mean, I think Chameleon saved Neo Dragon. He probably saved some money. Alimony's a lot, so
Saved him a ton of money on penicillin, from what I understand.
the IWL has great health insurance.
They
Well,
do.
it might
They
not
do.
now. Don King's in the Sharks, but it did have great health insurance.
Wow.
I think he got rid of those.
Well, independent contractors, baby. Come on now. Where'd you go?
Can you hear me? I don't know. This is just this random thing that says Stevie Vertigo. If you can read this, then you know if you finish your series with Alexander by injuring him, you get an even bigger bonus than the one year by Alexander Styles. I don't know where it came from. I don't know.
I don't know.
where it is. What that is? Ominous.
It is very ominous. I agree.
So Caesar Sterling's Ira R. Goldman has written a letter. Is this just to the IWL or is this to the entire IWAR?
Probably
It's not the IWAR leagues.
Okay.
So it's basically getting his contract demands. So let's see how.
Can I offer a counter offer? I feel as the IWL commissioner, I will have a counter offer for this gentleman, and I will pay you a hot dog and a handshake if you come to the IWL.
Oh, the old school. $5
like
and a hot dog.
That's it.
Like a dog and a handshake. Is that like a?
Bring the
What you're
kids.
talking about?
Yeah, I'll even let you get a little mustard on it, maybe a little relish.
Gotta have mustard.
Maybe
Hot dog.
a little chili cheese, maybe. Now we talk about it. We got all the perks over here for sure.
Is it dill relish or is it sweet relish?
I don't like my sweets and my meats together. That's first and foremost. So I don't like sweet meat.
There
So
you go. Well, they got that ham, that sausage you get for Christmas.
yeah.
You know?
Honey ham, yeah.
No, I don't eat nothing honey glazed. No sweet meats for me.
Oh, come on. Honey ham's awesome.
I'm more of a
I don't-
savory than a sweet, to be honest.
Get you umami, you know.
I'm saying.
Man,
I just like
All
the
right.
phrase sweet meats.
I got some sweet meats. All right, Stevie Vertigo is up next. So we're definitely. This is just post the Wrestle Riot card in Mexico City.
No.
The paramedics are taking out the body of a basically destroyed Luther Alexander. Suddenly, they're attacked, and a black Cadillac pulls up, or has pulled up, the attackers, and it's Stevie Vertigo with Queen Kyla, Toa Noah, and the Samoan Assassin, and O.J. Simpson. So they grab OJ, or OJ grabs Luther. Stevie Vertigo lets him know that Stevie Vertigo has made a special request to Mad Dog Dick Jackson, and they got a Scipia WL contract especially for him. And so he leaves his jacket on with the contract on Luther's lifeless body. And OJ gets stopped by Toa, and he gets punched right in the mouth. So OJ is left with the lifeless body of Luther
Again.
Alexander.
Remember,
Okay.
it's only lifeless From the waist up.
In Mexico.
In Mexico.
So, OJ Luther in Mexico. It's rough. We got Big Bad Bob still talking that talk about Barry Stevens. We got Queen Angela, Crusher Vicious, and Spike. We have the Regulators.
Who?
The Regulators.
Never heard of them.
You should have heard of them because the reason that the reason that Luther was so jacked up because the RX turned on him. So RX, the Graces, and they brought back the Empire of Chaos. Primetime Alex Styles, main event Dylan Matthews, and Triple X Extreme Xavier Jimenez only has 2 X's. 2 X's. Just 2. Why is it Triple X? Nobody knows. But they give him Luther the Chaos Theory. So the Regulators and the Empire of Chaos are back. Brian Patrick Enterprises is at full strength. And now, if I'm not mistaken, time, Alex Styles, Dylan Matthews, and Triple X Extreme Xavier Jimenez are all former champions in their own right.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good. But I didn't want to get to it before I got to their TT, but Texas Jesse Tombstone, awesome. IWA World Heavyweight Champion, Gold Fed Elite International. He basically ran the board pretty much.
Did he get the clock?
He did the clock. I don't look at the. He should request the clock. He did it all. So good job, amazing job, Ryan. Like that was friggin' phenomenal cycle, especially to do it with 3 guys and have one go all the way to the IWA World Heavyweight title. It's super rare. I mean, I couldn't tell you how often that happened, but it's pretty friggin' rare. So great job to him and congratulations, because we keep telling you how awesome the Regulators are. People don't take it seriously, but Devon Stops know. So everybody knows about who they're playing with. Next up is Neo Dragon, and he talks about how Barry Stevens is straight garbage. And
Truth.
he needs a little bit of hope. He's such a Debbie Downer all the time. Because he is a Debbie Downer. He's always whining. Always being a dickhead. So, next up, we have Golden Boy Brady Buckshot. He's a part of the gun collection. He's new. He's coming out of the EPW. What's the EPW?
Extreme Penis Wrestling.
Okay. I've been showing Ryan. Anyway, next up we have California Gunslinger. He's the Grand Prix champion. Okay. So he's looking at trying to get. We're talking about Rex Chambers and Neo Dragon getting a shot, but they're both champions, and Neo Dragon has a title shot. So it might be better to go down the list a little bit more. Because Neo could be champion, and according to the bylaws of the IWL, they don't want people that are fine for championships or current champions to go after other titles. I mean, not everybody can be a double champ. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be Big Bob Harris.
Very well. Next up, we have Shotgun Kid, and he's talking about a lot. What? Who is Tony Zippy Dog?
He's the Zippy Dog. What are you talking about?
He's one of the
Memphis title.
Yeah.
There you go. Talks about Shotgun Kid's talking about some of the NWL guys that came over. And he's kind of pissed that Rod Camino kind of strolled in here when it won the San Fran title and got a title shot. So
Good for him.
see if there's some beef on that. I mean, he wasted it. He lost, but, whatever.
Oh.
Demolition Crew. I mean, how many times have they defended their title so far? Twice. They're doing good. They're still talking about Rosanna. I don't know. We haven't seen or heard from Rosanna in a long time.
No. No.
He may be gone.
Lupus is a terrible disease.
Yep.
I know. Ravishing Rex Chambers. the Pan Am title. Talks about how he owes a debt to Ali Atari.
He only gets paid in goats, by the way. So there's that.
What?
He only gets paid in goats.
Rex Chambers?
Yeah, goats.
I don't want to know.
Goats.
Is that even legal?
Man.
All right. Have you seen the new Thor movie?
What was that?
Thor movie?
What movie is what?
Thor movie. The new
Love and
Thor
Thunder?
11.
The new Thor.
No, I have not watched Thor.
Screaming Ghost.
Is there?
That's what Screaming Ghost.
Good.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so X3M, she does her thing. Congratulates her. She doesn't really seem to call anybody out. Who is the current contender for the Pan Am title? Do we have one right now?
That is a negative. It's going to be a mystery.
Oh, okay. It's going to be a mystery.
Like Evolution is a mystery.
It is a mystery. Even though, I mean, it's definitely not a mystery, but the song says it.
That's what I'm saying. That's it.
Now I can all I can think about is that song. And Motorhead.
They still alive?
Anyway, Lemmy died.
Is it
And
even?
I'm pretty sure that
Was it drugs?
Lemmy.
Yeah.
Lemmy. It was drugs. Lemmy would have died a long time ago.
So
Lemmy's like Ozzy. He just drinks whiskey and does drugs, and
Okay.
it doesn't affect him anymore.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's an amazing individual.
Because of crack?
But
Because of crack?
he doesn't do that.
Do you know that? Do you know that for sure?
Yeah, he told me.
Told you? While he was smoking crack? Would a crackhead tell you he smokes crack?
He could tell.
How could you tell?
Because crack is like, it looks like crack.
How do you know what crack looks like?
Because I've seen it on television.
That's not real crack.
Dare, they showed me at Dare.
It has a very unique smell. Like even if you don't know, if you ever smell crack, it's one of those things that when you smell it, you know it's crack. Like, oh shit, that's crack because it has very unique smell. So when you smell it, you know exactly what it is. It's the weirdest thing.
Like I can't imagine that I'd be
Like
that's definitely crack.
That's why I know if you've never smelt it before, because as soon as you smell it, you're like, oh yeah, that's crack. So good for you, not being around crack.
Speaking of crack, we have Michigan Border Patrol, Edward in Windsor. We have Edward Porthron, Windsor, Detroit. Oh, it's Port Huron. I get it now.
Yeah, there plays on border towns.
Right.
Yeah.
Sioux Pa. What is Sioux Pa playing?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not from Michigan, so I don't know.
Do we have any Michigan people around?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
asking.
Big Ben's Wrestling World is located in Allen Park, Michigan.
Is it? How do you know that?
Because it's in the TT.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I guess I have to accept it. I don't know for sure now.
Yeah, so they're talking about the Big Ben Jr. They're talking about Omega Squadron, Death Leprechaun, Triple D Cup. So they're got 6-man on the mind. So good for them. Rod Camino is writing letters to Dave Lazowski, which is weird that he still writes letters, but that's fine.
Are they poems?
I don't think it says Yo Dave, so I'm going to say no.
Oh, so it's not a love letter of some sort.
On a quote camping yoga excursion, so in Glacier National Park. He's been all around.
Sounds a little Brokebackish to me, my friend.
I don't judge him.
Well, I'm not judging. I'm just saying what it seems like.
Look, man, he's been doing some soul searching.
Wow.
We have
Searching for something. Yeah.
speaking of Motorhead, we have Def Leppard or Def Leprechaun. Sorry.
Wow. You know my history with Def Leppard.
I brought it up. The go back last time. They say Def Leppard will get you 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Better watch out.
It's true. It's true. That's how I ended up on the FBI watch list, apparently. So there's that.
Thanks.
You wanted that sugar, but you couldn't handle it. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
clearly could not. Clearly could not handle that sugar. It got poured on me.
Pyromania.
Yeah.
Or pyromania. All you got is a photograph.
We got to talk off air about your fandom of Def Leppard here a little bit.
Oh, Def Leppard live ones.
Did you?
It's cool. Mm-hmm. It was cool.
Was it this year?
It was in the early 2000s.
Oh, was it at Dollywood though?
The whole of no, Dollywood is not here. It's in like Knoxville, far away.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Jim Forge. Yeah.
No, I just questioned your geography skills a little bit. That's fair.
I don't think you even know.
Wow.
Here's a
Maps are a real thing.
I know. This is.
Wow.
You don't even know where Tennessee's at. Okay, I know what you people up there do. You don't even know. You just don't even know.
It's somewhere near. It's somewhere near Alabama.
That's
and North Carolina.
It touches North Carolina.
Does it?
Apparently.
I haven't touched a Carolina in a while, so what's that?
Sweet Carolina. All right. Speaking of Sweet Carolina, there's another
fucking white people.
You have another love letter from Rod Camino. He's writing to the fans this time. That's creepy.
Oh, most of them can't read, especially in the.
I can't read. Can't read. So he's saying why he's not doing interviews. He's out relaxing.
Oh, by the way, Dollywood's in Gatlinburg, according to Jeremy. So suck on that.
It's in Gatlin.
Yeah,
Forge, that whole area.
It's right next. It's right next to you.
It's not right. I don't live over. I don't even live in the mountains. It's in the mountains.
The Smoky Mountains?
Yep, the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, okay. Isn't there Six Flags over there too?
No, there's one in Atlanta.
Is there? Okay.
There's a big fire in the Smoky Mountains.
Was there? Did you do it?
No, because I don't live there.
Oh. Wow, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm just saying. You did it on your way to Dollywood.
Look, if you want to come down here and go to Dollywood, you can.
We should go together. That'd be awesome.
Never been to Dollywood.
Really? It's probably fun.
It is. I heard it's fun.
Wow.
Well, all right. Another. Why does he like? I like the template that he's chosen for these letters. They're
very good. Festive. Very good. Yeah.
Rock, continues to check in with Waz. He's writing all kinds of letters. So this is to Wazalowski, and the next one is to the Waz. Are they not the same people? I'm sorry.
No, Waz is one and Wazalowski's another.
Yeah. Yeah, because of racism.
Okay. Very well. So Dave the Decision Wazalowski and Waz is someone completely different.
I call him Waz, but that's my New York accent, I think.
Waz, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Dave the Decision. Man, he's just talking, you know?
A lot of junk. I don't know if I appreciate that.
He's talking. Got something for everybody. Now, obviously, he's talking about Chameleon. We have a new arrival, Sam Hain, representing Whoop-Ass Incorporated, rivals to the industry. So it's interesting to see where they're going to go, what they're going to do, who they're going to feud with. talk about television championship. That's cool. And then we have another thing where Sandy the Bear Francisco and his statue got vandalized, I guess.
Well, yeah.
So that's people don't respect, that kind of stuff. So overall, there's some stuff in the IWL. Nothing too crazy. Getting ready for the King of Pro Wrestling at Madison Square Garden.
MSG. We go to MSG twice a year. One for the King of the Ring, or the King of Pro Wrestling. I'm sorry, and for the MSG Tag League. So we're there twice. And guys, if you guys head over to the chat box, I have exclusive firsthand information that may be troubling for some of you, so it might be sensitive. So some of the younger viewers, I've found some footage on what exactly did in fact happen to the Queen. So, just keep that in mind, guys.
I have an IWL note.
Yeah.
So if you see Barry Stevens' promo, it's page 34. This is what happens when you do promos late and you think you saved something, but you didn't. So at the very end, the last block of him saying about Big Bad Bob Harris, and that he's, talking to his old lady about Barry Stevens, and Bob's a lead for a lot of guys want to beat up Barry Stevens. Bob says that Barry Stevens is full of it. Bob, you better keep your mouth shut, or keep Barry Stevens' name out of your mouth, or else the next thing to fill your full of Barry Stevens around here will be your wife.
Oh.
And that's a fun line. But then the next part didn't save, so it's like my notes about this stuff. So it's like kind of like seeing like behind the scenes, like in the coffee cup in Game of Thrones, like, that's a good line there, and I blew it. Oh well, that's annoying. That's annoying.
There's not coffee in Game of Thrones?
There was a famous blooper where someone during a scene left their Game of Thrones, like during the
Starbucks cup, right?
A Starbucks cup, yeah, and it was right there, like on the set. It's like you didn't even digitally edit it out, just for like whatever.
There's a Starbucks back then.
Yeah. Grando Starbucks. Yes. So anyways, I just want to add that in there. But when you're doing your promo, make sure you save it the right way, or otherwise it's like, it's such a good line. Oh well.
You guys watched Game of Thrones or the Dance of the Dragons or whatever?
I have not watched that. I watched Lord of the Rings, but not Dance of the Dragons.
I've watched a sort of, I guess you would say a reimagining of Game of Thrones called Game of Bones. So that was good.
Oh, that sounds. Is it Brazzers on the title there?
Possibly. I mean, I don't want to. That was once on the Bang Bus, apparently.
Oh, I actually.
There we go.
Well, never mind. I won't talk about that.
Oh.
Wow, that makes it even worse.
That's why your pinky's discolored. Yeah, you see? It's no nail on it. It's gross.
Oh, the nail's there. But,
oh, well.
An accident.
Why is it green?
So, yeah.
You used the handcuffs, didn't you?
Do you want me to do BRL next?
Sure.
Now, I want to know is about the Bang Bus map. That's it. That's all that I want to know. And now I feel like we're not going to get it. And we're I don't care about anything else.
I saw somebody's minivan that said, my other car's the Bang Bus.
Nice.
As a sticker, and I wish I took a picture of it. It was after soccer. It was a while ago. Soccer night match. And I was like,
Sitting there with your team as you were coaching them. Come on, kids, we're heading over to the Bang Bus.
My new favorite thing is quoting TikTok songs or dialogue to coworkers. So I'm sure Bang Bus will make it in there somehow.
Well,
what about the bus?
That is preach, by the way.
So, all right, so BRL. So let's talk about BRL. I went too far. There it is. All right, so BRL, we are actually right now still in the production stage of the Autumn Anarchy pay-per-view write-up. I'm waiting on a couple of write-ups from the players. So if I don't get them, well, that's going to be me writing on Sunday night. So that won't be fun.
Okay.
But yeah, as always, if you want to write, I love when players write, because not only does it make my job easier, it's better to have more, personal takes on the write-ups.
Right, you want to have your creative juices flowing.
I can do a certain amount with, with I have a lot to work with, but I couldn't have written a match that was the quality of Tiamat versus Ray and Grady.
No.
I can't, obviously the players put a lot more into it. But there's some good write-ups in this one. There really are, some fun ones. So coming out of it, there's going to be a lot of post-Autumn Anarchy business going on. And to kind of run this down, so Dick Jackson threw out, I'll say it's kind of funny, like Alex I know does this too, like you put little like Easter eggs in there to see if anyone's paying attention.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
And like I always laugh when I see myself in his report. Or I see, a certain performer from our past.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay. But I put a thing in the Dick Jackson column where I kind of floated the idea of disbanding or vacating the Global Six-Man. Mostly because I'd like to see that division get more steam and get a little more pickup in it. We kind of have about like 4 or 5 teams, which is good, but you really need about 10 to 12 teams to get a really functional system in place. So the response was great because a lot of people came back and were like, "Oh, please don't, please don't." So I heard you all that responded and that messaged me privately to ask about it. So again, just if you want to do a trio, sometimes it's easy as just if you're going to be active, like for example, Seth Adamsley and Wisp teamed up with Adam Cash on their own. Somehow we won the 6-man titles in the BRL, which was really a miracle. And that was unexpected. But more importantly, for the tournament, if we were a trio that was going forward, like we're just going to be a trio for the tournament, as long as we're active, as long as the team's active and gives me a 6-man strat to work with, you're fine. And same thing with the title matches and commissioner matches and the pay-per-view matches. Just stay active. So people say, "Oh, I didn't know who you wanted to have us be in the tournament." Well, let me know who your team is. That's fine. And like last minute, one of the players was like, "Hey, do you mind if I switch my team up?" I'm like, no, it's kind of Freebird rules. Whatever you want to do is fine. And it worked. Also, congrats to congrats to the Pain and Destruction in the BRL were given the 6-man title shot. We need a 6-man challenger. And I kind of floated the idea, hey, these guys have been really active, really cranking out the promos. How about we give them a shot? And we gave them the shot, and they pulled off a 1-point victory to become the IWAR World 6-Man Champions. So well done to Pain and Destruction. I was happy to see that. I appreciate those that actually read the Dick Jackson or the Suplex columns. I try to keep them brief, but important information in there. I thought it'd be something different to kind of do dialogue-wise. So if you have any suggestions or want to have your guy or wrestlers chime in or show up, please feel free to let me know. I'm happy to have that kind of connection go in there.
Oh.
Yeah. The Global Championship page, which is page 26 in the BR report, just a little heads up. I reformatted this into an Excel spreadsheet that does a better job of kind of making it very clean and crisp and how to follow. Because some players are like, oh, I wasn't sure which match was which. So I've made it very clear for each title who's facing what and what's going on, the records. And what I did is I built a point system. So it's 2 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, -1 for a loss. That kind of shows records-wise who's doing what. Those records don't really have a huge standing point. All they really kind of do is help me stack the tournaments when I set them up. And it's kind of a good way to see who's really doing well. Promos. Western Medicine is back.
Who?
And Western Medicine, they were the most fine tag team in IWA history. Little side note, Scott and I created them in a game called Monsters of the Mat, which was an ambitious online kind of IWA, if you will, with some other more complicated system. But their big draw was there was going to be a daily game. So if you think the idea of doing strats every day is appealing, you're fooling yourself. Because Scott and I did this for how long? How did we do it? Like 6 months? It felt like 2 years.
We whipped everybody's ass.
That was a drawback. We were really good at it.
Everybody.
we were like a gazillion time tag champs. Because what they did is every day you competed, if you had tag titles, you defended them every day. So you like one of us had to go and like do our strats every day. It was just ridiculous. But our tag team was Western Medicine. What's that?
74th time.
Is that what it was? I knew it was something ridiculous.
It was something like that. It was something ridiculous.
But we made the tag team of Dr. Piledriver, MD, and Cowboy Jim Spur, Western Medicine. Kind of like psychotic maniacs. And they were fun. So...
Actually, not... Piledriver is not a psychotic maniac. He's just...
Well, he's more sinister and diabolical.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah. The running gag with the Western Medicine tag team is that
he's the quiet one.
Like Jim Spur comes barging out, causes a scene, starts threatening to hit people, and like Dr. Piledriver's music goes off and it's a heartbeat. Sirens go off, blue lights. He comes rushing out to calm down Jim Spur and like, no, don't do this. And he writes in his clipboard, which is prescription pad, and he's like, shows Jim Spur, here's how to fix this. This is okay. And it always says the same thing, Spike Piledriver, in which case they attack whoever they're attacking and Spike Piledriver on the floor. And I'm actually going to have a big promo for them this cycle. Kind of behind the scenes coming out, we've been having a problem with one of the players getting their bulletins. So I want to know, I'm kind of going to go hive mind this. So there's a player who I kind of facilitate his getting the bulletins. And he's been having trouble with them getting sent back to the IWA. And this was never a problem until about 3 or 4 months ago. So it's made it harder for him to play, obviously, and he doesn't have a way to really electronically like get it the same way. So it's kind of a complicated process. I was curious if anybody had a way of like taking a bulletin and like condensing it, or like if they had any ideas, like, well, what if you just sent the title page results and just like kind of recap the promos for him, involving his guy. And I'm trying to find a way to keep this player active and help him out, but it's getting to a point where it might just be he might have stopped playing for a while until things get better. So if anyone has any ideas, please feel free to contact me. So there's that. All right, so Monster Truck Tanaka, he cuts a promo and gets mad at Dan D because Dan D keeps saying, you're facing Mike Cook, and he goes, who the heck is Mike Cook? And he goes, Mike Cook, and he goes, no, who the heck is Mike Cook? Yes, little who's on first. The Total Package US Mail. That's right. Total Package US Mail logo sponsorship here brought to you by Aaron. So thank you, Aaron, for this logo. Total Package talks about his war on the foreign warrior, this Outlander Hawaiian heartthrob, foreign menace. So that feud's gonna be fun. It's a little more build up there. LePage Turner does his last promo as the IWAR World Champion, so he's going to be heartbroken. Adam Cash talks about having a showdown with Rob Ratliff. And Flashy Jack Ferdinand does a promo with his crew of the Mannequins, and how he's looking to reform the Modern Models, which was Jack and US Mail and NWL. And the Mannequins, of course, are talking about taking out Samoa Death Grip and trying to prove themselves as the top team in the IWAR. Let's see here. Mysterious Benefactor has placed this challenge for a few months now. Best of 5 series. And he says he'll put $1 million up if you beat him, but you get to pay $250 to him if you lose. So if you want to take up that challenge, he's out there ready for that challenge. So it's a way to make an easy $1 million if you think you can beat him. Mad Dog Tommy Zulu talks about his cage match against Kabuki Dragon and settling their old age, long-running feud. Will it end at Autumn Anarchy? Well, you'll have to see. The Olympians talk about the Von Schnapps challenging them at Autumn Anarchy. There's a little curveball coming to them for that. They're looking to regain the Global Six-Man as well. Then we get a promo from the Royal Family of Doom, and that is led by Eclipse. And, of course, Sabretooth is really sick of Flashy Jack. He wants to move on from that. Meanwhile, Decapitator and Tombstone, or Headstone as they're called, are looking to dominate the tag scene, and they've done very, very well. So I'm kind of curious where they're going to land next because, as the Jack feud kind of comes to an end, what's going to be the next thing for them? So next up, we got our old buddy Big Guns, Greg Garner. Of course, he likes to play Turn Me Loose over the PA system when he comes out. I think it's Loverboy, right? Turn Me Loose?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So you don't get enough Loverboy references anymore these days. No. It's really hard.
That's Chris Jericho's favorite band, by the way.
Was it?
It's Chris Jericho, yeah.
Wow. So he talks about Monster Truck Tanaka, who he's got a long-running rivalry with, and he wants a shot at the North American Championship. And every so often this happens where players are like, I want my guy to challenge this guy for this title. And I always say, you got to earn the shot, so we'll see what happens. But he is obviously very happy to have won the IWAR six-man. So I'm looking forward to the response from those guys in those promo. There's a gothic organ music playing, kind of a weird little promo here about a puppeteer and kind of a sinister, dark promo here. No name, so I don't know who it's from. I don't know who it's really about. So give us a banner or a tagline. We get a little throwback breaking news here as Dungeon Master Shelton Shroot, who hasn't been in the league in quite some time, gets attacked by Brahmo Baron, and it leaves Mama and Meemaw Hamilton also shocked. Then we get a promo from the sensational RJ Gallo, and this is a new wrestler. A little promo here talking about his show called the where was it? The Heat Wave? Yeah, Heat Wave. So we're booking a show called Heat Wave, so look for that show coming out soon. We get the letter from Sterling's attorney, Caesar Sterling, talking about his agent having demands for his wrestler. Where will he end up? We get Country Hammer Rhett Grady talking about his big showdown where it comes to challenging Mick Ferrari at Autumn Anarchy, and then, of course, going on to challenge the IWAR World Championship. And newsflash, Mick Ferrari beat LePage Turner, so the next IWAR World Championship match will be Playboy Mick Ferrari defending against Country Hammer Rhett Grady. So longtime rivals. So that's kind of a cool booking layout that way. We get a promo from the Suburban Hell Savages, Agent 26, talking about wanting to settle things with Jax and Callister. And of course, Punk Rock Mike also cuts his own promo, a big one about his long history. And you'll see the writer for that in this next issue. But he's had the Global Championship for 2 years, so it's pretty crazy. Vertigo's got talent. He brings out Fighter X, old buddy Fighter X, who was a tag partner with Stevie Vertigo in NWL until Stevie turned on him. And it just mocks him for having no talent when it comes to singing. And Terry Crews is the host, so it's jam-packed episode here. And then he brings out Lance Horowitz, and the Mannequins attack Lance Horowitz. So Lance Horowitz and Fighter X, two of the guys I really had high hopes for. So hopefully they'll come back. There's a rumor Fighter X might be coming back.
Oh,
a rumor. I said a couple of players who talked about possibly coming back. The draft is coming up. And they were kind of, going on about, well, I don't want to bring back the guy I had before or do somebody new. Well, I would suggest this. Create a new wrestler, come up with some ideas, create the new wrestler, then contact me, send me an avatar, a description. We'll put them in the draft. And then, if you decide later on you want to bring back your other wrestler, you have all the history to go off of. So like with Fighter X, for example, if you made a new wrestler and they come along and they're doing great, and then they go, hey, you know what? I want to bring Fighter X back and settle a feud with Steve Vertigo or whatever. There's a whole bunch of history right there in your pocket to go with. So that's my advice. Next up, we get a promo from Revolution Extreme's Luther Alexander, who's now in the BRL. So he's come for Steve Vertigo, but now it's going to be a matter of what's he going to do in the BRL. Is he going to just keep going after Vertigo? Is he going to do something else? Of course, you can't forget Luther Alexander won the Gold Federation Metropolitan Championship when he was in the BRL years ago.
Yes.
So he really had a couple of hellacious years there. Next, we get Colonel Doom. So Colonel Doom is talking about taking on Legends of the New Wave and using Pain and Destruction, that win to put Pain and Destruction over the top. Pain and Destruction is, of course, Big Guns Greg Gnar, Colonel Doom, and the Pharmacist RX Pain. And one of my favorite things about the game, especially the NWL, is when players who don't know each other just start working together and work really well. And that's what happened with Big Guns Greg Gnar and the Pharmacist RX Pain. And it's cool they're still together all these years later. So they call a couple people out. Colonel Doom's kind of had enough. He wants to kind of start some more feuds up, so he's looking to cause trouble. Next up, we get a promo from Seth Adams Lee and Wisp, Team Ace, and talking about what they got going on in BRL, looking to become more of a 6-man. So looking to be a 6-man trio. So I think we might actually see Adam Cash working with them as a trio more often. They thank Adam Cash for helping them win the 6-man championship, although I think it was really them, not Adam. They talk about a beef with Chief Bull Gray Fox, and Wisp was one of the last guys left in the Unknown Wrestler League. So if you don't know what that is, the UWL is a league where players secretly send their wrestlers into this league. And the wins you earn, the money you earn, and the stars you earn all get sent back to your wrestler in their home league. So you can earn extra wins for your wrestler that way, which helps you in the standings. So congrats to Wisp for lasting so long. A couple of years ago, El Barbero actually won it. So we've had a couple winners from the BRL there. So kind of cool. We get a Pork Chop Cash promo from Double R Rob Ratliff, making fun of Adam Cash, calling him Pork Chop Cash. I actually remember the Red Sox player named Pork Chop Cash, who was terrible, but everyone rooted for him because he was called Pork Chop Cash. What was the wrestler in the South called? Pork Chop something, right?
Pork Chop Cash.
Was it Pork Chop Cash?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he any good?
Yeah, he's over.
He didn't say he was good, he just said he was over.
He got squashed on an episode of Wrestling Challenge by the Ultimate Warrior once.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know about this one. Was that the one where he tried to do a bump for him or something like that, and Warrior didn't understand how it worked?
Probably.
Okay, all right. For some reason, Betty Red's promo from the BWL ended up in the BRL.
That's so fucking shocking.
There it is. The Fox brothers are looking to be the new IWAR World Tag Champs, so they're going to get that going underway. I would just say this. If you're going to have any tag team in the tag team division, you need to keep them active as a tag team. That helps me when they're scoring. Otherwise, they take losses, and it's like, oh. And it's hard to win the IWAR tag belts without being active. We get the IWAR Pork Chop Championship belt, which is under the hand-drawn special by Double R Rob Ratliff. We get a promo from the pharmacist who calls out Dr. Piledriver. And Dr. Piledriver is in a tournament right now for a possible IWAR World title shot. He's taking on, Ro Grady. So that's this coming cycle. So if he beats Ro Grady, he gets an IWAR World title shot.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, 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 dun. Next up, we get Zydrate.
I pity the fool.
We all pity the fool. So the clash at Autumn Anarchy between Rock the Dwayne Johnson and Zydrate, notwithstanding, we're looking at the Specialty Championships coming up, so they're really excited about that. And that's that again, I mentioned earlier, if you want to get involved, this is the cycle to do it. The deadline is this coming cycle. So if you want to be in it, get involved. We get the White Claw Outlaws talking about their showdown with the Von Snops at Autumn Anarchy. And fun fact, their record against each other, the White Claw Outlaws and the Von Snops, 1 win, 1 loss. Like they went head-to-head, they went 1-1, and they have 4 ties. So there you go. Who the Heck is Mike Cook talks about his various tournaments and how he and California Gunslinger were going to face the Graces. And that, of course, was a tie. Next up, Kabuki Dragon talks about Mad Dog Tommy Zulu dishonoring him, and he wants to dishonor him back and kind of take this feud to the next level. I think someone's going to get hurt in this one. That's going to be one of those feuds like the old Lance Russell. Come on, guys, you're gonna go too far, guys. I love that my YouTube feed somehow started popping up with like every third video was old Memphis wrestling, and every other video seemed to be award ceremony goes horribly wrong. Well, we're here with Mr. Yamamoto giving a Japanese fans award for Jerry Lawler, the Japanese Wrestler of the Year, the Mexican Wrestler of the Year, the Argentinian Wrestler. It's always like some random award, and then, of course, goes horribly wrong.
You, Mr. Lawler, you're very good. And then you hear him next, and he's just sounding total American.
Yes, I love that.
He's his own racist.
It's so good.
That was most of what Memphis wrestling was.
Yeah. Next, we had Rainbow Pony, one of the more unique wrestlers in the BRL, calling out Rick Splatterhouse. So Rick Splatterhouse getting called out by Rainbow Pony. That's kind of a clash of styles there. Someone who's very flashy and unique in their ways. And then Rick Splatterhouse, who's, I'll get to him later. We got the Schmidt brothers talking about wanting to take the Silver brothers on, and the Carnival Profits, the Olympians. They're just really looking for a tag team feud. Here he is, Rick Splatterhouse. So very intense background promo here about his father being a New York City fireman on September 11th, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going somewhere. And then, of course, he didn't die in that fire. He killed himself. So I was like, oh my God. So this promo quickly went to an after-school special to a nightmare movie. So it's page 55 of the BRL Bulletin. I can't do it justice reviewing this. There's a lot more to it, but his entire squad gets killed over in Afghanistan. Things don't go well, so he's back and he's scarred and he's looking to win. So Rick Splatterhouse. Nightmare Fuel. Next up, we have the IWAR World Champion Mick Ferrari, who overcame a recent bout of COVID to come back and win. So he's now been the IWAR Six-Man Champion and the IWAR World Champion. He's eyeing the tag belts as a triple, win the triple crown there. He talks about beating LePage Turner, and next up, he knows he's going to be facing an old foe. So that's going to be really entertaining. He cuts up Rhett, just kind of talking about their long rivalry, and that this will be a main event way to end this feud. Next up, we get Hawaiian Heartthrob, and he talks about U.S. Mail being an obnoxious fool, and he knew of him in the NWL when he left, but he should have taken time to address him then. Makes stupid remarks about where he's from, the great state of Hawaii. And, it's just, again, Hawaiian Heartthrob is just a classic babyface. Next up, we got the Nightmare Johnny Carnage, and he's talking about his match at the Autumn Anarchy, and he, is looking to win the championship and put himself on the map. So, again, check out the write-ups when you see these things. They're a lot of fun. A lot of some good stuff going on. And Legends of the New Wave are looking to make management and expand the group. So if you're an NWO alumni, maybe you want to join the Legends of the New Wave. So there's that. So that, as they say, Alex.
I dig it. I also dig that the IWL
led the IWA activity this cycle. So
Yeah,
man.
man.
A run for the IWL.
When do we get those 10 matches? We get 10 free matches this cycle, correct?
No, next cycle.
What about the one from last cycle? Didn't we get one for Ryan?
You got the one last cycle was for winning for. Oh wait, is this cycle?
That's this cycle.
This cycle, okay. So this cycle coming up is the 10 free matches for winning for Texas Jesse Tombstone, winning the IWA Championship. So that's
the World Heavyweight Championship.
World Championship, yeah. And now, next cycle, IWA will have another cycle of hot wrestling action.
You know, with all these free matches, I think we're going to be number one in activity again.
Dun, dun, dun. Good. I love it. So, yeah, there's our trash talk review. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, man.
Sure is.
Do you got anything for us, IWAR wide?
I would say the big thing right now is the IWAR draft. The Bound for Glory tournament, all the fall events are underway as far as tournaments go. But if you want to be in the IWAR draft, I stress, contact me as soon as possible. Get me your wrestler's name, avatar. It's a free event. We're going to do it live online, so it's going to be a live Tubecast. So if you want in, join in. It's a lot of fun. So I'll be beating the drum for that this weekend, trying to get more people involved. We're about 12 right now. I want to get up to 20 or so. So there it is.
There it is. All right, guys. So it looks like, unless anything has anything else they want to get off their chests, any other grievances, perhaps?
Well, I think Larry the Dog's the mastermind behind the whole thing. So,
well, what are you gonna do? You shoot that dog. Well, guys, if you're gonna be a friend, be an Ace Steel. Don't be a Coca-Cola. All right, guys. So go ahead.
Mom has all the money.
Well, his parents are. I would say they're well off. They're fine. Good for them. Good for them. All right. So for Matt Riley, hey, take it easy. Copyrights, it's a real thing. For Matt Riley, for Scott, for Luke, for Colt Cabana's mom. I'm Alex G. Marsha Colton, we love you. Have a good night.